it up?
Yep. I got it. I sent it. Were you guys able to send it?
Yeah, I got it. I'm just sending it on WhatsApp. Some people.
Not able to do it.
I'll send it to you on WhatsApp so you could send it. You could copy the link and send it like that. How do we know how many people on the live?
YouTube, yeah, we should be able to see it. It's only us right now. We should be able to see it at the bottom.
It says 8 watching right now.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
it's more
cool.
than that. So much for YouTube.
Yeah.
Someone value
I think we could start now then.
your value.
Right, ready?
Yes. IP.
Hey guys, welcome to the I Podcast. My name is Patrick. As those of you know, I'm your host for tonight's show. Welcome for those of you who's already joining in, and I hope you guys are having a good weekend. So, Dr. G, how's it going, brother?
Pretty good. Hey guys, welcome to the I Podcast. You guys know your family. Hello guys, welcome to the I Podcast. Welcome, fam. So you guys know, so I podcast. I'm here, my brother. Let's get it done.
How's your weekend going, brother?
It was really busy, but hey, we here too with our family. So let's get it. Let's talk to each other.
We're here.
Yeah.
Miss B, how's it going, Miss B? You
Hey,
have a
hey,
lot
hey.
of fan though, I heard.
I heard I have a lot of fans. Hey guys, I'm back. Thank you guys for your support and happy Sunday.
Awesome. So guys, today's topic is gonna be pretty cool. We come with some thoughts and see how we can, gather or experience to come up with this topic for you guys. Basically, the topic goes back by should the number of years that you spend with your partner play a role, whether or not if you guys should stay together or not if the relationship is not healthy. Without further ado, I'm gonna start with my brother G. So, what do you have for us today?
Hey guys, I'm back. What was the question again, brother? Come again, please.
Should the number of years that you spend with your partner play a role, whether or not you guys should stay together if the relationship isn't healthy?
Got it. So basically, when do you know you should call it quit, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, the number of years definitely play a big role in a relationship. So as for me, so sometimes people need time to know themselves in a sense. So I will say yes. If you've been with your partner 15 years, so you just can't get up and then say I wanna quit it or I'm gonna leave.
So
You have to have a sit down at least. But if I meet, let's say I meet somebody like yesterday, I can call it quit today. I don't have to explain myself.
but if the relationship isn't healthy. But I'm gonna get back to you though.
All right.
Miss B,
Hey Pat.
hi again.
Hi.
Already. What do you have for us, Miss B?
If the relationship is unhealthy, then no. Simply because the duration of your relationship does not dictate the health and the value of the relationship. You'll hear some people say like, you meet somebody, you've been with them for 10 years and it's been hell, and you meet somebody for 1 month and it's a life-changing moment. So no.
Facts. All right. So we have a yes, we have a no.
That's
so
for you.
that's for me. All right. So should it play a role? I mean, I'm gonna have to agree with both of you guys.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to agree with both of you guys, but I'm very intrigued by your yes, brother. So I want you, like, why? Why do you think he should play a role?
Oh, okay, I'm not gonna ask a question. You're the host, though. I was about to say,
Yeah, I'm the host, brother.
Why
What
do
do
you
you
get
think-
triggered by my yes?
What do you think? Let's say your relationship is unhealthy. It's like not only is affecting you mentally and physically, and you think the number of years that you play with the partner should make you not call it quit?
Yes.
And how do you explain that?
Let's say you've been with your partner for 10 years, so that's a lot of investments. Especially as for a woman. If you met that guy when you were 25, now you're 40. So if that guy leave, no disrespect, it's not gonna be as easy for you to get the partner that you need, right? But the reason why I said yes is because in today's society, most people don't like challenges. You get it? Obviously, if you meet somebody today, everything is fresh. So you guys gonna be in love. You guys gonna love you dubby every day. But after 15 years, it's not gonna be the same no more. So after all this investment, especially if you got kids together, so you can't just get up and call it quit. Sometimes you gotta give people chances. Or if you can help them out, help them out. If you have to push them to seek for help, sometimes people don't really want to hurt you. You get it? It's because after a couple years, people lose themselves. If you can't help them out, let's help them out. You don't have to call it quit for that.
What
But
do
if-
you mean help him out? Or help? It could be vice versa.
Vice
yeah.
versa, yeah. So there was help them out. Like, let's say people lose themselves. It's not really their fault, right? In a sense, but life situation, life problems make people the strength that I have to support certain things. You don't have it, or
Right.
the woman doesn't have it.
Right.
That's why you have to try your best to help them out. If they want to quit it, call it quit. That's the way I see it.
Well,
Yeah,
I
do
do
you
have a question for you because you're saying like it's not his fault or it's not her fault.
Yeah.
His or her fault. What are you referring? Fault at what? Where's your mind at? Like, because I'm trying to understand, like, what is it that you're trying to defend them?
That's what I said. Sometimes people lose themselves.
So their behaviors, the way they
Yes.
behave.
Yeah, they become unhealthy. It's not because they want to, but life situation. I mean, you should be able to control yourself, but at the same time, you should be able to understand that not everybody's the same. The way you were raised, that's not the same way I was raised. You feel me? The strength that I have to support certain things or to control my mind or to behave certain ways, even though life is tough, is not the same way as you as a partner. You feel me? Vice versa.
Let's say the person become really like the relationship become healthy because the other party's fault, but the person is now holding himself or herself accountable for that matter.
Yeah.
So how would you know to help that person? How would you know where to start to actually help that person in order for a relationship to succeed?
As a partner, after 15 years, you should be able to know certain things about your partner. Not everything.
That's true, but a lot of people have a lot of reserve and on themselves that you can spend 10 years with a person and then they do some shit that make you realize that you're with a brand new person, like you never knew them.
That's what I'm saying. Certain things. You should know certain things about your partner. If you spend 10 years together, you trying to tell me you don't know anything, even though not everything. People
But you're not the only one studying each other. Like, we both studying each other. And the thing about being unhealthy, whoever's doing the manipulating, like they are it's not like something they wake up and said, you know what, like, it's not just cheating. It's not just the jealousy side. Like sometimes it get very, like, they control your life and they don't just wake up today and just do like that. It's little bit by little bit. And they take, sometimes I don't even think like people even realize they get in your head so much that you push your friends away. You isolate yourself from your own family. Those are your support system. And you become so vulnerable and they are the only person you have to rely on. And they know that. And they see that vulnerability and they took advantage of it. There's no way you're the one who's being taken advantage of. So, and that person doesn't do it while you're strong. They take little step by little step to make sure that they get you weak to the point that you can't fight for yourself.
Okay.
Facts.
First of all, so if you allow your partner to make you not friends with your friends or don't push your families away, since day one, you should have stopped that though.
But dude, people change, bro.
So
And you don't even know. It's not like they'd be like, don't
Yeah.
talk to this person.
Exactly.
Like they make things up, things you don't even know whether or not it's true, and you don't know who to believe. And and especially if you're married, the whole couple identity thing where like, it's you and him versus the world. Sometimes it doesn't, like, yes, your friends. Yes, you want to try to balance, and you can't say your friend you're lying. You can't tell your husband you're lying. Like and you have to pick a side, and you have to pick the person who you live with, because these are the person you're eating. And yes, it sucks because these are your friends too, has been part of your life from day one, but they have their own life, and sometimes you just don't know.
Yeah, let me say
So
something.
it's not like you chasing your friends away. You just taking a step back, so okay, you know what? Right now, having both of you in my life right now at this, like, with the same level, I can't balance it. So I have to just take a step back and then just take a pause on our friendship. Like, instead of seeing each other 3 days, let's see each other's one day. Instead of seeing each other like, once a week, let's do it once a month. Let's take a step back so I could allow myself to give my husband some time so we could build whoever we're going to be as a couple. And sometimes in your head, that's what you think. But in their head, they have a whole other plan. And people, whether or not it's a man, it's a woman, like they can be very creative. And it's not like it's not black and white where you're gonna see it always. It's
I get what you're saying, but come on, there's something called common sense, and try your best to be always the bigger person. So I'm not saying like try to be a mastermind or stuff like that, but if all that going on, so you can see, are you blind?
wow.
You get it?
What
You get it? I'm saying like if you saying all that, so people doing all that, and then you over there like you blind yourself too. You should always try to grow in a sense, or evolve yourself, or make it. I have a better mind, not because people doing things and then you allow them to do everything to you, or convince you to do everything. No, it's not like that. I'm my own guy. I'm my own person. You're your own person. I get it. The way I see things, you probably don't see it like that, but I'm not gonna allow you to manipulate me to do everything that you want me to do because you're my partner. No, it's not like that.
You made it sound like it's a choice as all.
It
all
is a
time.
choice. All the time is a choice.
If you don't see it coming, you don't know what choice you're making now.
So you have your own mind. What do you mean if you don't see it coming, Miss B? Give me an example.
Okay. Here's what I mean by that. Like, somebody's lying to you, especially this is someone you love, right? You have to assume the best. You can't always assume the worst of people. And if you're in love with that person, right, your brain automatically start justifying actions, correct?
I don't
It's not
see it.
something that we just like, oh my God, okay, maybe this, maybe that. No. And you can't always just like every time someone, like, he does something wrong or she does something wrong, and you just go at it. At some point, it's going to go the other way, either way. So what I'm saying is that when someone is manipulating you, it's not like they put something on their fridge and said, I'm going to manipulate my wife or my husband today.
Okay, how do you do?
They study you. They study what ticks. They study what don't. If you're so quick to always do the opposite, then they do reverse psychology on you. They do exactly what they think you were about to do just so you could do the opposite, because that naturally you default to that part. So you don't just wake up Sunday, and in the comment says narcissist. Honestly, that's the perfect word for someone who's like that.
So you trying to tell me, Miss Viodo? You trying to tell me?
I love it.
You trying to tell me people play reverse psychology? Are you? So you don't have your own mind? You don't have a mind? Why would you? You said when you think you're gonna do this, and then people play reverse psychology. That's why you have to be a bigger person. You have to have a mysterious mind. You're not gonna allow people to manipulate however they want. What do you mean? Just because you know how to use reverse psychology, I don't know how to use it neither. You have to always be the bigger person.
Are you forgetting that you're with your partner?
It doesn't matter, Miss B.
You don't just wake up
It's
and be like,
common sense. The truth is the truth. So
You don't
just
know
because
when you're doing reverse
Miss B,
psychology.
you don't know, or your partner don't know. I don't get it.
Whoever's initiating, no, because that's what they are doing. Okay,
But you should
So
be
let's
smart
say-
enough not
let's
to
say I
allow them
know-
to do it to you.
Let's say I know whatever I say, Patrick will always say the opposite, right? But if I want Patrick to say A, and I know if I say A, Patrick going to say B, so I'm gonna say B so Patrick could say A. But Patrick doesn't know that, because naturally that's who Patrick is. And maybe he doesn't even realize that naturally, that he just do the opposite. But for me, if I'm studying Patrick, I'm the one observing him. So I'm the one who knows if I said this way, Patrick's going to jump to the other way. So if the other way is the one that I want, then I'm going to just say A. Because Patrick would naturally jump to B, because that's who based on my observation of him, that's who he is.
That's what I'm saying. You should be always mysterious. That's why people can control me. Me, whenever you think you know me, I flip it up. So that's why everybody should be like that, Miss B. You talking like that's how people is. Not everybody's like that, Miss B. And then sometimes you probably think you're playing psychology game, and people reverse it than you. So it's not like you're only talking for whomever's manipulating. It's not like that. As a partner, you should look for the better for the both of us, right? I'm not gonna listen to you and then believe you whatever you tell me just because you're my partner. No, it's not like that. As a partner, you tell me something, I use my brain, my common sense. Does that make sense? I don't think it makes sense, babe. I think whatever you're saying right now, I'm not saying you're lying, but there's a way to. You're not gonna sit there and
so
then
you
listen
agree
to
for us to leave the minute that
no, you
that
don't have
unhealthy
to leave.
behavior
You don't have to
comes?
leave. Sometimes people don't know themselves. Sometimes, as you said, sometimes people think they slick. They trying to manipulate you. But as a bigger person, hey, don't do that. I'm not trying to leave you, or just because they're trying to manipulate you, you're trying to leave. If you're smart enough, you talk to them. Make them see whatever they're doing. You see through it.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree on that part with you, G. So like, if you're in a relationship, Miss B, you're aware of that person is playing reverse psychology. You as a bigger person, like you can just let the person know, hey, I know what you're doing. Let's just be authentic. Let's be real to each other. Let's not use psychology trick to get whatever we want. You get what I'm saying? So the topic is about, if the relationship is not healthy. Being a narcissistic can also play a role in on unhealthy relationships. So Princess Love says that. So having narcissistic trait, it's bad for either party, the man or the woman. So, but I'm saying as a person who know about psychology tricks or reverse psychology, if you're in a relationship, you're aware of the person is doing that, what do you think you would do?
What do you mean you're aware? That's the whole point. You don't.
Some people don't aware about reverse psychology.
You don't
Some people
know.
are just so
You're
oblivious.
not aware at all.
They don't know what's going
because
on.
here's the thing,
But
though.
like they've
When
been
you're-
manipulating and they don't even know if they've been manipulating.
That's
you know
the
what
part,
I mean?
though. When you're in a relationship with so-called your partner that you want to have a long life with, and as a matter of fact, if you're already in 15 years, then literally your natural mindset would be to believe the best, right? This person have my best interests, because otherwise, why am I spending 15 years with you? Correct? So whatever decision you make, I have to believe that you have my best interests at heart, because I love you and I would do the same. But now, if by any chance that I figured out that you not having my best interests at heart, why am I trying to correct you? Why? You literally make a choice, decided that you wanted to, whatever it is, like hurt me, either mentally or physically, and I have to be the one to play the bigger person to try to help you.
But if you really love that person, what would you do? You would just like say like, all right, so
There's something that called love from afar. Then yeah, and I'm not going to say everybody has the strength to leave.
Yeah,
because 15 years is a lot of years.
I mean,
And
I
the
do
emotional-
agree about. I don't think number of years that you spend with your partner should define whether or not if you should leave or not, if it's not healthy for either of you guys. So most of the time, the best thing to do is to leave. A lot of time, people stretch their relationship to 10 years is because they're afraid to be alone.
It's not even that.
Right. It's not that though.
But they know the relationship is not healthy. It's not for them. They just afraid to be alone. They're just afraid, or maybe they have some kind of like soft spot in their heart. So like, I feel bad for her, or she feel bad, or vice versa. She feel bad for him, and
There's
they
so
stretch
many side
a
effects
relationship,
to
wasting
that, though.
so many years for a relationship that's literally the direction is to not being a good relationship.
Okay. Yes. So when it's unhealthy, honestly, I agree. Get out.
Yeah.
Right.
No, you don't have
But
to.
I want to.
I mean,
I want
if
to-
you
Unhealthy
try,
how?
if
what is the
if you
definition of unhealthy, P or Miss B?
Unhealthy.
Yeah,
That's
Miss
when.
B. What's the definition of unhealthy, Miss B?
So
Give me example,
from
please.
my own perspective, that's when either one or both partners are experiencing distress, constant dissatisfaction of the relationship. Sometimes it's physical violence. Sometimes is mental abuse, which cause emotional and psychological problems, by the way. And these things doesn't just, infidelity.
I'm glad you mentioned many of them. So he could be the least one. So as long as it's not
What's such
physical
thing
abuse,
as-
Miss B.
What's such thing that I said that was the least?
No, the least is like sometimes you're not satisfied. You feel like you're not being satisfied, or you're not.
I
being
said
completed.
constant dissatisfaction, and that
Miss
could be
B,
from one
if
or both.
If it was that case, people was not gonna stay for 15 years. Who's?
But some people stretch relationship that don't
For
need to be
15 years,
stretched.
B?
Yeah.
But here's
You'll
the
be
thing
surprised,
about this,
brother.
though. Depression. Sometimes, like what people don't understand, being an unhealthy relationship could cripple you mentally. You simply doesn't have the energy to just get up and walk away.
Yeah, because you don't want to
It's
start
not like
this
you
again.
don't know what's
I agree with her,
happening.
'cause, like,
you
like,
literally, like, you could see it happening, but you really can't, like, get yourself to
can't
just
get
walk
You
away.
can't get off and get away.
Depression is
I mean, I don't think it's. So, I would not describe it as depression. It could be depression, but me personally, I would describe it as of like fear. You know,
It could very well be fear, but
So-
at the end of the day, that like you literally in a state of mind where you are not yourself. Okay, you don't have the mental strength. You don't have the physical strength. Everything is literally, you kind of like, think about it as a puppet. Okay, it gets to that point. But my thing is, do not try to fix somebody. Like, you cannot fix anyone, honestly.
but also Miss B,
Only
like I'm
them.
having mixed. Like I agree with a lot of stuff that you say, but sometimes some of the stuff that you say, I'm kind of having mixed feelings.
Okay, I'm not saying to be on my side.
No,
of that,
no,
but
I'm
yes,
not.
it's your
I'm not trying to
opinion.
be on either of you
What are your
guys'
thoughts?
side. I
What are
agree
your
with both
thoughts?
of you guys and certain specific ideology that you guys point out. But I just lost my train of
All
thought.
right, let me say something. Let me say something. Miss B said you cannot fix nobody, right? You're not nobody whatever.
What I wanted to say is, if you're in a relationship, Miss B, like like the person did something to you, and you feel like it's so horrible, you would just get up and leave without even knowing why,
Well, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying
or
you
trying
have
to see
get
how
out.
can
have to
you
leave.
would not even try to fix. I think try to actually
Well, I'm
see
not-
the bottom line of it and trying to fix it. That's actually a healthy way to go about it. And
what I'm
when you get
saying-
the answer that you want, that's when you can decide to leave.
But what I'm not saying, like, okay, he does something you uncomfortable with, you get up and leave. That's not what
You
unhealthy
mentioned that.
is.
That's what that was it.
No, I didn't
you
say. I
that
said
was one of them.
constant dissatisfaction. I didn't say like, okay, he does one thing and you get up and leave. I
Miss
did
V.
not.
All right,
I
Jeff,
said
keep going.
constant dissatisfaction. But my thing is, unhealthy is not because of one person did something wrong you don't like. That's not what unhealthy is.
People think
You
it's
know,
not
oh, I
unhealthy.
did, you
It's a
know,
part-
that
Nowadays,
that
people-
just being a person, that's personal bias to me, you know, because your expectation right now is not being met and all of a sudden you are uncomfortable with it. That is not what unhealthy is. Unhealthy is a pattern of behavior of one or the other partner.
That's your
is,
definition, Miss B. You mentioned a lot of them. Earlier, I asked you the definition of unhealthy. If it was one thing, you was gonna say this is it. That's one thing. Because many people take unhealthy as like, you don't pick up my phone, that's unhealthy. You don't. If I tell you to do something, you don't do it. That's unhealthy.
anyone could go on Google and Google unhealthy.
Miss B-
Anything else
Miss B.
outside of that definition is your own personal bias. That I can't speak to. But
that's what
the
you're doing
actual
right now.
meeting, the actual
Why
meaning
didn't you
of
say that was
unhealthy.
Okay, good, Miss B.
The actual meaning of unhealthy, it doesn't just start because somebody did, like, you know, you in a relationship and then all of a sudden he did something wrong and you just like, okay, you know what, this is challenging my comfort zone, I want to leave it, I want to walk away. That is not what unhealthy is. But if you are constantly cheating, if you are like, let me take a step back.
All right, Miss B, listen. I get what you're saying, but nowadays people are they're not committed no more. The moment they tell you something, you don't listen to them twice, they call you unhealthy or toxic or narcissistic. Because just because you tell them to do this, there's the example that you took earlier. If they're trying to push you away from your friends or your family, you don't want to do it, they call you, oh, you're unhealthy, and stuff like that. You get
If they
it?
try, repeat that one more
If
time.
they're trying to push you away from your family,
Okay, they
or
try
from
to.
your friends, they say, oh, don't talk to that person. The moment you don't want to do it, they say, oh, that's unhealthy. You don't listen. You're narcissistic. You do whatever you want.
I'm glad that you say that, because nowadays I'm realizing, you know, the more you embracing your masculinity as a man, the more they call you a narcissist. It's funny to me, bro. Like this today's world society, bro. It's so funny. I feel like a lot of yeah, a lot of women use that word a lot, especially as soon as they got a relationship. Oh my god, it was a narcissist.
There you go. That's,
Like,
that's
bro,
my
give
thing.
me a break, bro.
That's my thing, though.
So you mean to tell me you spent 10, 5,
15 years. That's
15 years with a narcissist person?
partner. Exactly.
You know,
Come
like,
on,
just give me a break. It's just they just learned that word.
There
and
you
they're
go.
like, okay, he's narcissist.
Not
Like,
only that,
please.
so then people, as you said, unhealthy for you and probably not unhealthy to P or to me, especially nowadays. I'm not gonna say female. I don't want people to get triggered, but the moment that you don't complete their needs, or you don't do whatever they tell you to do, they call you narcissistic. Or you don't
Oh,
listen
yeah.
to me. You don't listen to me.
Yeah.
So just because of that, you're gonna leave your partner for that? As a man, as a leader. So the fact that you tell him to do something and then he has a bigger vision. You say, okay, we're not gonna do this because it's not gonna be good for us as partners. So you're gonna call me unhealthy, right? That's how it is. That's how most people, especially nowadays, that's what they do.
Dude,
they tell you to do something.
They want a strong man. When they have a strong man, they don't know how to do with it. But when they have a weak dude, they call you weak.
We got you.
They don't know what they want, bro. In a way. But I know it's off the topic. But I just wanted to throw this out there. What do you want? What do you want from me? Like seriously, like you have a strong dude, a provider, or dude who's like there with you thick and thin.
Let's stay on topic.
You know. But anyways, let's
exactly.
let's
So after a lot of investment, so 15 years, you got kids together, you have a house together. Just because I don't listen to you, or just because I tell you to do this all the time, even though it's gonna be good for you and for me and for our kids, you're gonna call me that's unhealthy. You manipulating, or you dictating me, or you always tell me what to do.
Wait,
I don't
G,
listen.
hold
to
on now. So like, what do you call unhealthy then?
Unhealthy to me, if it's getting abusive, like physical, people you touch
Being physical.
That's a no to me. You have to
Being
leave,
physical
no
is
matter.
not the only unhealthy trait.
That's what I'm saying. For me, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to
What
tell
about
you,
the other things like Bonali stated?
like what like couple. See, she mentioned a lot of things though. That's what I'm saying. Like she mentioned.
Using reverse psychology, if you mentally abusive,
No, listen,
and all
people.
these things,
If you allow
if
people,
you constantly cheating,
I told you, if you allowing people to use reverse psychology on you, that's mean you're not using your brain.
What about-
as a grown up? As a grown ups, so you should know when people is using reverse psychology on you. Don't say yes to everything your partner says. That's what I'm saying. Don't just cause people trying to play smart on you. Nah, you're not smarter than me. I mean, I have a brain, you have a brain. You trying to play as long as it's gonna be good for us, for the relationship and for our kids, for our future. Of course, I'm gonna do it. But don't play reverse psychology on me just to please yourself. You get it?
Miss B, you ever have that experience? It doesn't have to be personal where someone is using reverse psychology on you.
I said it so many times. It's not something you just like, oh, this person is using reverse psychology. It's not like it's written in their forehead like I'm going to reverse psychology.
Yeah.
Reverse psychology is literally mean I'm going to ask you to do something and I'm going to do it on the exact opposite of what I want. But you don't know what I want.
Don't you think
Literally.
most people
I could be
use reverse psychology?
All I'm saying is
If
that
they can?
you don't know. As a matter of fact, there's almost like you just never know. Because here's the thing about reverse psychology is that you always ask the person to do the opposite of what you want them to do.
It's like
okay.
I want water in this, and then I just put it in front of you. And
So
then
it's
I'm
the
putting it
opposite
right
of what
click
I
with you.
want. For you to know that it's reverse psychology, then you have to know what I want.
Yeah.
Listen.
So how are you supposed to know that?
Listen. As a leader, so as a man, sometimes you, as a woman too, if you want your partner to do something better for the couple or for your kids, using reverse psychology could be a good thing. If you need it for your kids, if you
It's
use
manipulation.
If you use
doesn't
it for
matter.
bad,
It's
It
manipulation.
doesn't matter.
Everybody
We all
manipulate
do.
people and stuff.
Then you don't manipulate
Miss
the
B,
person
Miss
you
B,
love. You
let me
give
ask-
them the option of choice.
True.
Just
true.
because you want them to do something, you don't manipulate them.
you
into
can
do
choose
something
not
that
to
you
call it
want them to.
manipulation. You
It
can-
is exactly that, and it's not
But-
okay ever.
Miss B, let me ask you this: if you, let's say you have a husband or a boyfriend whatsoever, you know what? If I put it down on him, he's gonna do this. Or if I cook for him today, or if I'm
good example.
if I'm good at cooking, I know he gonna stay forever. This and the third, because I know he loves cooking. It's a psychology trick. Although that it's not harmful, but it's a psychology trick because if you do that, you get this.
There you go.
What I'm saying is that
Now, do you get what I'm saying though?
manipulation.
But do you get what I'm
If
saying?
you have to manipulate me to do something you want that you know that I wouldn't want to do, then it's bad.
Miss B, let me ask you this.
Asking your husband or doing something to get your husband to be in the mood, in the right mood to have sex with you,
That's not
is
reverse
not
psychology?
manipulation.
What
it's
is it,
not
Miss B?
because manipulation would
Miss B,
mean
what
that
is it?
What do
he
you
didn't
think
want
it is?
to do it.
You're just explaining to me.
Did
It's
he
like
not wanna
you do
do?
something because you want something else.
So,
No,
You
I
want
said
him-
that.
you
No,
want him
no,
to
no,
do
no, no,
something.
no,
Hold
no,
on,
no, no,
wait,
no.
wait, wait. If you
No,
put,
no, no, no,
if
no.
your
I
partner
did
was
not
not
say
on
that.
the mood,
Do not put
Miss
words in
B.
my
Okay, let
mouth.
me ask you that. If your partner was not on the mood, but you want it,
No,
You-
that's different too.
that's not
I'm
reverse
saying
psych-
is
no,
that
it's not reverse psychology.
Here's what I'm
now,
saying.
Miss B, answer me. Is that reverse psychology?
What
Your
are
partner
you
is not on the
asking?
mood. You do something that you know, even though she doesn't want to do it at the moment, but you want to do it, right?
That's
But
not
you-
reverse psychology.
What is okay, Miss B? I gave up.
You know, what is reverse psychology again? Because you did give us a couple of definitions. So what is reverse psychology?
What I'm saying is that I want something. I, the woman, since we're going to go sexual with it. I
It
want
doesn't have to be
something.
sexual honesty.
I want something, right? Now, I know my husband. If I said I want it, then he's going to say he don't want it. So I said I don't want it because his natural state, he's going to say he want it.
Right.
Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying.
So naturally, that's what I do. Manipulation now is that,
That
I
was not
know
manipulation,
he
right?
doesn't want to do something. He doesn't want to do something. So I'm manipulating him to do something that he doesn't want to do. What I'm saying is that naturally he doesn't have the option of choice. And it's not fair.
Miss B, I'm confused.
Miss B. Okay. So my
And,
question.
and either way, though, none of them are good.
Exactly. So it doesn't.
So
if
that's
it, as
exactly
long
what
as it's
I'm
not
saying.
harmful,
But what you're at,
people
what you,
people use psychology tricks all the time.
Every day.
Like you don't think you for you to know it's a psychology trick. That means you are smart.
if you want it, would that make
Exactly.
you sleep at, would that make you sleep
No,
at
no,
night?
no,
Then
that's-
fine. Then
no,
I'm
no,
okay
no,
with
Miss
it.
B,
That's
that's
what
not
you
what
want
we
to
said.
believe.
No,
Then
that's-
that's fine.
no,
I'm
that's-
okay with
that's
it.
not what we're
Because
saying.
Hold on, wait,
what
wait,
you're,
wait,
it doesn't matter to me.
But Miss
To be
B,
honest, what
Miss
I'm
B,
saying is
let's
that
say you have a
don't-
husband, right? You know he loves when you cook. When you don't cook, he has a bad mood. Would you not cook?
That's manipulation, by the way. Oh, hold on.
Would
Let
you
me,
not
let me,
cook?
Let me say it better.
You know he loves when you cook. Whenever you don't cook, he has a bad mood. Like the house is just like he's just moody. Like whenever you talk to him, this and a third, he has an attitude. But when you cook, he's the happiest man on earth. The whole house is happy. You know what I mean? So what would you do? Would you prefer not to cook so you can have to deal with his moody situation, or would you cook?
What's the point of a relationship, Patrick?
Miss B, let me say.
Hold on,
Let
Miss
me,
B.
let
It's
me,
a question, Miss B.
let me ask.
It's
Your
a question. I'm asking you
your
a question.
Is that
What-
my husband love my cooking?
Yes.
Hold up. Let me say. Let me P. Hold up. Let me say something. Miss B, Miss B, Miss B. You know when you cook, your partner give you certain things that you like, or chocolate. He buys or flowers. He buys you flowers, right? If you cook, you know you love flowers, right? Is that true? And then you know whenever you cooks, he brings you flower the next day. So you trying to tell me you're not gonna use that reverse psychology on him? You're not gonna cook the fact that you want the flower.
And you love flowers.
Here's my thing, though. If my husband know I like something, and he deliberately only do it when I do something that he wants, that wouldn't be my husband.
Miss B, I'll tell you what. We live in the real world.
That wouldn't be my husband. Because
B.
here's my thing, though. Here's my thing. Hear me out, though.
Go ahead.
I'm in a relationship with you, right? My goal is to see you happy.
Right.
But I would have to withhold on that until you do something.
Everybody
that
have a
makes me
reason to be happy.
just so I could do something that
Thank you.
that
But
makes you happy.
Everybody
though?
have a reason to be
Thank
happy,
you.
Miss
Thank
B.
you, Mr. P. Say
So
that
what?
again. Say that
Everybody have a reason to be happy.
Happiness just happen. Don't just
All-
happen.
all
You
I'm
don't
saying
just
is
happen
that-
like that to freaking be happy. Oh, I want to be happy. Everybody have a reason to be happy. Either
I want you
your
to hear me,
mindset,
though.
either whatever it is. Everybody needs a reason to be happy.
Whatever that reason.
Happiness
But
is a
that's not-
feeling.
But that's not where I was
It
going.
can
though.
it comes and go. So if your husband he's happy, that means you're doing something. You're doing something that's making my boy happy. The moment you stop doing it, you gonna see he probably
It's
not
another
feeling
example.
it anymore.
Another,
You know what I mean?
Another example. You know when you look good, your husband loves that, right? You put on makeup, right? Is that true? Lipstick. So you try to say that's not a way of manipulation, no? You're not gonna answer. Let's get to the comments, please.
Let's get to the You want to get to the comment quick? Let's be.
Sure. Let's see here. Kassan Illustration says, Mr. G's logic sounds toxic. Why won't you want to show your partner your true? Yeah. Why won't you want your partner to show your true self? Your true self. I feel like it takes a whole lot of energy, mentally and physically, to switch up your characteristics or logic. And actually, I skipped one because we stop at narcissist for Princess Love. Princess Love says, I don't like when G says allow. It's beyond that. And
What is it? I would love her to elaborate.
when you
on
said,
that,
like,
please.
you allow somebody to manipulate
Miss B,
you.
I would love her to explain what she said.
But I remember when she wrote that comment, that was what you said. But you could elaborate, Princess Love. Kassan Illustration says, narcissists don't always show their true selves from the jump. I agree with these.
How would you know that? How would you know a narcissist would not do that?
Because
Maybe you are a narcissist.
We'll recognize real.
We'll recognize Will.
Nah, don't even go there.
What do you
We all in this world, and we are observe not just our own relationship. We observe our friends' relationship. We watch TV.
Miss B.
We learn from books.
Miss
We
B.
learn from the
Miss
internet.
B,
From
I know
research. So
all of
no,
us on this
you don't
table
just
right
wake
now.
up today and
We are
just say
90s
that.
babies, right? Listen, this world just pop up out of nowhere. It's like it was never in the dictionary on the early 2000s or 19 something. It's like no one was using this world. This narcissistic.
Do you know what narcissist is? Like,
Okay,
around being around
what I'm
narcissists,
saying-
you literally feel like
What
you
I'm
can't
saying,
breathe.
no one was using this world on the early 2000s. Out of nowhere. I think it
Wow.
started
You
like
think this word
2020.
was
I think
invented?
COVID brought that one.
Are you
It
hearing
was always
yourself?
there. It was always there. It was just not on the society mind tricks.
Let me
It was
now
not
that
part
you
of the
mentioned
agenda.
COVID,
It was
right?
not part of the agenda. So that's why a lot of people was not using it. So now it's part of the agenda. Most women who feel butthurt or their man cheat on them, whatever, this and the third, or they were in a relationship, it didn't work. Narcissist.
Now that you brought up
Makes
COVID,
no
do you know
sense,
what
bro.
happened during COVID?
What happened during COVID?
We get to stay inside.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what happened when you just locked inside with each other?
What happened?
You get to see each other's true color. Normally, before COVID, before the pandemic, before isolating ourselves in a one house, we get to wake up, we get to get out of the house, take 8 hours to work, breathe from each other, and yada, 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 yada. COVID allow everyone to be in the house at the same time, to see every frustration, every sweat, every anger, everything. And it doesn't just, like, you don't get a happy emotion all the time from that. It literally messed up with your mind. So maybe what they realized is that their partners are narcissists. So maybe during COVID, doing all of the mentally, and one thing I told people sometime too, when we get escape, some people, for us, it's just a natural, okay, I'm going to work and I can't wait to see my husband or my wife or whatnot. But some people, they deliberately stay out because it's suffocating inside.
Because none of them were true to themselves. Listen,
so-
if I'm in a
Wow.
relationship,
Wait. What's so
Wow.
narcissistic about that? Because I'm not.
no,
getting it, to be
because
honest. I'm confused.
I guess what you're trying to say is these people didn't really recognize who they were with because they didn't really spend much time. COVID, everybody was inside of the house. You get to, understand certain trait from your partner, right? And all of a sudden you discover either she's a narcissistic or he's a narcissistic. Is that what you're saying?
What is that word though? Because
Is that what? No, I'm trying to. Is that what you're saying, Ms. B?
No, P. Before you say anything about narcissistic, so I would like to know what is that word, Ms. B? Because I don't really know anything about it.
You don't know what
is it?
narcissists
No,
mean?
I don't. To be
Well,
honest.
then you should Google it.
Google.
That's
People
what they
can put
all
it-
say,
people
bro.
can-
That's when you ask them what is a narcissist.
somebody put it on Google, right? You know that, right?
Dude, I'm telling you, that word is part of the agenda now. So Miss B, Kassan is
You know
is
what you're doing,
elaborating
right?
more.
I
I'm
want to
not
take a
doing-
minute though. Just now, I told G to Google something, and he told me that somebody put it there.
Yeah.
Okay, a dictionary. Everybody wrote it, right?
Yes.
Somebody wrote it.
Yes.
Do you know why this is toxic though?
Why?
Why?
You guys don't see this.
I'm
asking
asking
you
you, Miss B. Elaborate. Go ahead. Miss B, you change our person. That's the purpose of the show anyway.
Yeah, why?
So
There is something that I guess many of us don't realize. Like when we feel cornered, when we feel like we are like, I wouldn't say the word defeated, but for the lack of better words, we challenge everything. But if you really look at life, everybody did it.
Did what?
There's a quote that says nothing new under the sun. But
That's
they don't
true.
just make up things.
I agree with that.
So these words, they were created for a specific purpose, and it gives you the meaning for that specific purpose. That's why they created to eliminate personal bias. So someone saying that, oh, my husband didn't pick up my phone twice, he's a narcissist. And when you actually look at the word and the actual definition of it, then you could say, no, honey, that's not what narcissist is. Then you
Okay.
allow
I'm glad you
you
said
give
that's the
yourself
main reason why I
But now,
Miss B,
if
listen,
you
listen.
hold on, I'm not
Oh,
done.
go ahead.
But now, if you question the very thing that could prove it wrong, then everything, it becomes just like that. There's no way we could keep on challenge everything. So then, what are we living under? Just
Miss-
your personal opinion and my personal opinion?
Miss B.
No, there's gotta be something that's right and wrong.
I'm
but
glad
when
you
you
said
questioning
that.
when
I'm
you
glad
questioning
said-
Google,
can
what am I
are
supposed to tell
done?
you about
No, when
Google?
you finish, go ahead, finish.
You questioning Google, what do you expect me to say about Google?
I
What do you expect me to say about the dictionary? Yes, somebody wrote it, but that's because that they had to describe feelings, or they have to describe our language, they have to describe our emotions in a way that we could understand and we could communicate with one another. But when you question the very thing,
Ms. B,
what exactly you expect me to
Miss B,
answer to be?
I asked you because you used that word, so I never used it. I asked you, what does that mean? You said Google it. You use
Then
the word.
your response was that, do
let
you
me
know
finish,
that
Miss B.
Google wrote it?
There you
Somebody
go.
wrote it in
No,
Google.
I asked you first because I want you to give me the definition of what the way you perceive it or the way you know about it. Because a lot of people using that word nowadays, they don't really know the full meaning of it. They just heard somebody says it and then they just copy.
Monkey see, monkey do.
There you go. So the full definition of narcissistic, people don't even know the story behind it.
They don't.
So
I'm
they're
telling
just
you.
using it to use it. That's what I'm asking you. The fact that you used it, what is the real definition of it? If I Google it, obviously I'm gonna find some.
Here's one thing though. You asked me for the real definition.
I
Or you
asked
could
you,
have
what
asked
does that
me
mean for
how-
you?
No, you didn't. You
What-
said
what did I
when
say?
I said
What-
you don't
what-
know what narcissist meant, you said no.
I said,
So
what
I
is
said
it?
Google it so you
I
could
said,
know.
what is
They
it? You
asked
said
you,
Google
what
it.
is it?
I said, what is it? You said Google it. So
Right.
okay, since you used it, so now I'm asking you, can you give me what is it? Can you tell us what is it, please?
I think I mentioned an example. A narcissist person is all about themselves. Around them, you literally feel like you can't breathe. Honestly, you feel like you can't have your own thoughts. Honestly, right now, just like you literally told me, like, okay, who wrote this and whatnot. That's the toxic behavior, and that's honestly.
Okay, go ahead, keep going.
Being a narcissist person is someone who manipulates.
Everybody does.
Not for the greater good. It's not about
Everybody
being a
manipulate
good.
Miss B. I don't care what
Okay,
people
so
does
then
say,
they are.
everybody does manipulate.
All I'm saying is that you asked me what.
So
what
everybody's
do you
not
expect me
narcissistic?
to do there?
Everybody's narcissistic, right? Is that trying to tell me? Because you said
Are
if
you
somebody
serious right now,
Miss
Jay?
B, you never manipulate anybody. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well,
We
No,
all
but that's
manipulate.
not what I'm saying.
What
though.
you saying, Miss B?
according to some research, a narcissist is someone who has excessive sense of self-importance and deep need for admiration and lack of empathy
There you
for
go.
others.
There you go. He has nothing to do with what we talking
But
about.
in order to,
Right.
here's the thing about that though. In order to do that, to get that admiration,
You asked us to
right?
Google it. We Google it.
Okay, but I'm saying like in order to get that admiration, to feel that important, that whole self power that you are feeling, right? You have to get somebody to love you. And that's where it gets bad.
But you said
that's
you feel
where
like
it
you
gett-
can't breathe. That's
There
not
you
what
go. That's what he
narcissistic
said.
mean.
You asked me my perception of a narcissist person, right? Now you're comparing my own definition of how I perceived
But
it.
the way that's
you explain it
what
is
you
it
were
doesn't
trying to
make
tell
it-
you.
that's-
Just because it could mean that for you, but that's not the real.
let's
that's not
let's
the
go
real
by the
meaning.
definition. Fine, go.
That's not the
repeat
real
the
meaning.
definition one more time.
Okay, a narcissistic is someone who has an excessive sense of self-importance, a deep need for admiration, and a lack of empathy for others.
Now I want you to Google behaviors of
Miss B.
narcissists.
Miss B, I'm not sure.
No, here's my thing
I'm
though.
not sure.
Here's my thing though.
I'm
That's
not
the
library.
definition of it, right? But being that person, having that mentality, what is the behavior of that person? That's where it gets the part that
It's
where
a person
being.
who's into himself.
But what
and
I'm
who
saying, like,
doesn't care about
how
others.
does he? What I'm saying, like, his behaviors from that mentality, from that perspective of how he see himself, how he the whole admiration for someone to love him. How does he behave to get that? If he wants his wife to constantly love him or whatnot, that's where the manipulation come from. That's where the whole ego part come from. There's a whole lot of things that comes from it. Yeah, that's the definition of what it is. But how does that person behave to get that?
Just because from the comments, just because I said something, they say, "Oh, that's a sign of narcissistic."
Let's go back to
How?
the topic, guys.
How?
Let's
Make
go
no
back
sense.
because that one word, I don't want to finish on that one word. But anyways,
Yeah, everybody's using it right now. They don't. Most of them don't really know the full definition of it. That's what
like
I'm
I
saying.
said, I had to agree with Miss B definition as far as it doesn't matter how long you've been with someone. If the relationship is not healthy, you gotta go.
No.
Hey, I got
If
to
it's
go.
if it's abusive,
Okay,
yes,
so
you have to go.
and she emphasized as of like, hey, you can only take too much. If the person is constantly mentally abusing you, physically abusing you, or there's another word that she used as far as I don't think it was a narcissistic. She said if the person is being what was the word again, Ms. B?
No, I didn't use narcissist. I'm not sure. I use a lot of characteristics that
Yeah.
describe
Yeah, so
unhealthy.
So basically, I agree with Ms. B, but I also like somehow agree with you. But you mostly describe unhealthy relationship as of like if you physically
I
abusing
say
that
if you
person.
physically abuse,
That's the only way you think unhealthy relationship can be defined.
unhealthy can be varies though. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people says you're unhealthy. The fact that I tell you to do something, even though it's gonna be good for the relationship, you don't want to do it. You're gonna call me unhealthy. That's
Give me an example
people-
of that. Because you said it a lot.
I just ask. Okay, let's say you're my partner. So I ask you to turn off that computer because I see the electricity. By the way, that's an example. By the way, so I tell you to don't go on IG because I see a lot of stuff on IG. I don't want you to get influenced. So mentally, I'm mentally strong to not allow certain things to get into me. But I know you, not because I'm saying like you are weak, but I know how you perceive things when you see certain things. I tell you not to go on IG, and then you trying to tell me, oh, that's unhealthy. You trying to manipulate me. You trying to dictate me. You trying to control me. Why would you say? People say that's unhealthy. Is that true? Is that true, Miss B?
Yeah, people wants to be
All I'm
free. So
saying
what
is
you're
that-
trying to say is that people want some people want to be like they don't take criticism. They don't take some kind of like hey suggestions and stuff like that.
Exactly. They
But
don't
the
listen.
moment you giving them a suggestions or you kind of say like, hey, I think if you do this, that'll be better. They automatically on defense mode.
yeah.
What do you think about that?
What I'm saying is that
Go ahead.
when you take control, I'll use that same example. You're saying that don't use IG because I think it's bad for you, right? Do you know that when you tell somebody not to do one thing, do you know what happened to you? You get curious, right? Because you want to know why. Okay, you explain because I see a lot of bad things and I don't want you to get influenced by it. But me, I'm okay because I train myself to be able to not be influenced by these things. Correct? Here's one thing about that. Or any other way, like you could say like, don't go jog, whatever it is. And in a relationship, the whole thing about me being in a relationship with you is not to lose myself and myself, my individuality. Is not to lose my choice. Yes, you could absolutely make that suggestions, and I could absolutely just say no. It's okay. I got myself. I'll decide what I'm allowed to be influenced by and what I'm not allowed to be influenced by. And as a matter of fact, we are sponges. If there's water, we're bound to get wet. Now, yeah, we could make a choice intentionally what to take, what not to take, but there are some indirect influence that some of us don't even know. So you never look at commercials sometime. The other day, I find myself literally singing a commercial songs, and then it's not something I deliberately, but I want to study that song.
Indoctrination. It calls indoctrination.
It happens so many times. It happens so many times. I caught myself on it, right? But here's the thing, though.
That's the thing. You kind of contradicting yourself.
I'm not.
I told you not to go. No, Miss B, you said don't go on.
Let her finish, brother. Go ahead.
So now, what I'm saying is that you telling me not to do it, me rejecting, there's nothing about the whole part where it's unhealthy. Where it gets unhealthy is when you now go get my phone, delete it, and call whatever it is, the phone maybe you had access, and prevent me from getting access to IG, ban me from using IG. You take the extreme measure. That's when it gets unhealthy. It's not about you telling me something that I disagree or you telling me something I agree with. You taking that extreme measure to make sure that I don't. That's against my own choice.
Yeah,
and that's where it gets unhealthy.
Now that you explain it this way, yeah, I completely agree with you.
Let me say
you're
something.
A prick who trying to do that.
Hold on. Let me say something.
Go ahead.
The way Miss B explained, that's your definition, Miss B. Being unhealthy, I can't. You heard it before. Earlier you said it's manipulation. So if I tell you not to do certain things, as you said, we all curious, so you're gonna do it anyway, right? So if I tell you not to do something and then you call me, oh, that's unhealthy, don't tell me what to do. Oh, nobody owns you. Who's gonna take your phone and then delete IG? That's gonna be physical.
Well, some dudes gonna do that.
Come on,
there's some
physical
crips out
abuse.
there.
They're gonna grab the phone out from your hand.
That is abuse. And
when you get to that part,
anybody on that live is going through this, or either a man or a woman is doing that to you, bro, just leave.
Exactly. Now it's time for you to leave.
There's no need for that.
There's no need for you to stay. Now it's time for you. If you get
the lack of privacy and lack of self-control.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
So if you get to that hand, so it's time for you to leave. Physical abuse, that I don't care what people say. Nobody should do it.
It's not just physical abuse, G.
I said unhealthy. Most people said the fact that you tell them not to do certain things, they call you unhealthy or toxic or controlling or manipulator, or you trying to manipulate me.
It's not just because you said it.
Miss B,
you're taking the whole thing to the next step.
Miss B, nobody owns you. Who's gonna grab the phone from you and then they're gonna grab the phone and delete the IG?
I'm gonna give you another example.
Come on, Miss B. That's too extreme.
You could literally report. You could report somebody and get them banned from IG. But that's one example.
That's extreme. Why would you go?
That's what I'm saying. That's when it becomes unhealthy.
That's your partner. Why would you go to that extreme? Talk to your partner. Say, I don't want this. I don't want that. Grabbing the phone from somebody that's not even toxic. That's not even unhealthy.
I didn't even use grabbing
illegal,
actually.
We're not supposed to do that.
I didn't even use grabbing. It could literally be on his own phone, report that person. I'll give you another example though.
So you
having that.
No,
let's say I don't want my man.
You cannot talk to your partner. You go on IG and report them.
That's not what I said.
You say you can actually report somebody. Is that what you said?
I said that.
We're talking about as partners, so you're going to report your partner?
Right. What I'm saying is that, okay, so let's say my partner, I don't want my partner to use Instagram. I told her not to use it, or I told him not to use it. He told me no, he wants to use it. There's no way I could force him to, but I could also get him reported and his IG get revoked.
That's toxic. Why would you go to that extreme?
Exactly. That's why it's unhealthy.
That's why I'm saying,
being in an unhealthy relationship, you gotta get out.
Man, not everybody gonna do that. That's too extreme. Why would somebody go to IG, report them? That's
why it's unhealtty, though.
Nobody gonna do that, Miss B.
What do you think unhealthy is?
Miss B, who's gonna do this?
Then what the heck do you think unhealthy is?
Unhealthy is like people don't want to listen, or if when
absolutely not. This is just people being biased. That's not what unhealthy is.
Unhealthy to you, Miss B.
Even if you look at the real definition of unhealthy.
I heard people telling me that, he's controlling. He's trying to tell me what to do. That's unhealthy. That's very toxic. I hurt people. You trying to tell me
Controlling
you never heard
it, that is being controlling.
That's not
though.
unhealthy.
That is being controlling.
Being controlling is not unhealthy.
That is unhealthy.
So what you trying to tell me then?
That's what I'm saying. You controlling them to not use Instagram, that is controlling though. You making that getting that extreme, that is controlling that person.
No, you don't go that extreme. I'm saying like simple stuff. People tell their partner not to use IG or Facebook. They call them.
But that's not controlling. But you just said being controlling, it's not unhealthy. So if you're doing anything that the purpose is to control, it's unhealthy.
I just give you a perfect example. Sometimes your partner see better than you. Like my wife, she came from outside. She said, "Oh, don't go outside because that's certain things." And then I'm gonna say, "I'm a man. I'm not gonna listen to you. You trying to control me?" No, you should listen to your partner. That's what I'm saying. Like the fact that if you've been with your partner 15 years, so you guys should be able to see better the goal for the relationship or better for the both of us.
But what the argument you're making right now is whether or not these people that are just falsely accusing their partners of unhealthy is unhealthy. But that's not what I'm arguing right now at all.
What are you arguing?
The conversation I'm arguing about is the real unhealthy, and I'm
what
saying
like
unhealthy? If
now,
it gets
now you trying to tell me there's real unhealthy and then false unhealthy?
Because if I'm using my personal bias, like I'm dating Patrick, right? And Patrick calling me and telling me like let's say Patrick did something that make me uncomfortable, and all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? I don't have time for this. He's unhealthy. That is not being unhealthy.
So people don't do that. No, I'm not saying you. People don't do that nowadays.
What are you arguing though?
What are you arguing? That's what I'm saying. Like unhealthy, the way you portray it, like everybody gonna do it.
I'm
like,
going by the actual book, the actual definition of unhealthy, because it happens where people do control you, where people do manipulate you, where people do constantly cheating and trying to tell you.
As I told you, manipulation could be a good thing.
Where people constantly mentally and physically abuse you. All of that does happen, and I'm saying when it does, and you have to walk away.
Manipulation not always bad. It could be a good thing for your partner. If you know each other, if you know your partner.
You could argue that for yourself. I'm not
doing it. The same thing for you. You're arguing for yourself. Is that true?
No, we all doing
it for ourselves.
In a way,
you could argue that for yourself with whether or not manipulation is good or bad. That I'm not going there. But being unhealthy in an unhealthy, it's unhealthy. Get out.
So so you say that there's a real unhealthy, that's false unhealthy. The definition I gave you is not unhealthy. The one that you give, that's healthy. That's unhealthy. Is that what you say? Okay, that's it. Oh, go ahead, Pete. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say something. So, like, when you say manipulation can be good or bad, well, to me, in a way, I feel like manipulation, it's good on kids. Because we've been manipulated when we were kids by our parents, to get certain things. Sometimes they act, we're still doing it as parents right now. I see myself doing it, act like I'm eating his food. And then just for him to see like, oh, I'm eating his food. The food is good. And then I give it to him. That's manipulation.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah, it is a good thing because I want him to eat.
It could be a good thing.
It could be a good thing, but not for grown up though.
Give me an example.
I don't think you should use manipulation for a grown ass person because now we have a consciousness is we should be aware of our consciousness. You know what I mean? We should be aware of
not
good.
All the time though.
Well, that's when communication comes in play. So you can communicate with your partner. You can have viewpoints with your partner, but you should not sit there and try to manipulate a grown ass because once they catch up, it's not gonna be good for neither of us.
That you so the hypocrisy. We all do it all the time. We just not aware of it though.
Yeah, well, unwilling manipulation. I mean, I can let that slide because sometimes if you talking to somebody that's not sharing the same, mindset or that don't have the same, intellectual way of you seeing things. Sometimes you say things that can backfire to manipulation, but you didn't really mean to do that. So if we, Miss B, if we go to the corporate America, like it's a whole manipulation game. We're not being real in corporate America. Everybody's playing game. It's not real. So what would you say about that type of manipulation? It should not be happening. That's the manipulation that put money in your pocket, that actually give you more roles and actually get you promoted if you know how to manipulate corporate America. What do you think?
Look, you could argue what's right and what's good for you,
No, I'm just.
then I'm not going to argue your own
We're not,
limitation.
Miss
of
B.
right and
Come
wrong.
on, we talking.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Whether or not you believe this is ethical or unethical, that is up to you, and I'm not
Right.
going to argue that. And that's it. Manipulation is manipulation. If you take away,
So, what do you
somebody's
think
choice,
about corporate America?
if you take somebody's choice away from them because you think your decision is better, so you're going to make it for them, then it's wrong.
What do you think about corporate
So
America?
they don't do it at your job. Your boss don't do it. Don't do that.
It's
at
either
your
be
job.
kill or kill.
Let me ask Miss B that. So you're at
What
your
do you
job.
think about
My
corporate
argument
America?
was never whether or not it's being
All right,
done.
let's get
I
to
just
the
said that
comment.
it's wrong.
Okay.
So whether or not it's being done, it's happening. It's happening.
You don't
so
thi- you don't think
because
you
it's
do it
happening,
too?
then I should do it.
No, you don't think
Let me
you
ask
do
you
it?
this. So just because corporate America does it, my boss does it, so I decided, you
Miss
know what?
B, you
that
would-
makes it
if-
okay for me to do.
Ms.
You-
B,
you
if
do
you
it.
if you in corporate America, you unwillingly doing it because that's the job. That's part of the job. Play the game. Play the system.
Look,
Dude,
if that's what you're doing,
No, Miss B, that's not. Don't tell me that's
That's
what
what
I'm
you're
doing.
doing.
You know the truth. You know the truth, Miss
so
B.
what
Don't.
exactly are you asking for
But
me
what I'm
right
saying,
now?
I do agree about manipulation.
What are you
Don't-
asking from
Don't
me right
manipulate
now?
your partner,
So-
but
so
but
let me
I'm
ask you
trying
that.
to understand both of you guys' mindset as
So
the host.
what do you want me to say?
No,
What
no,
exactly
it's not
are you
like what I
asking
want
me
you
to say
say.
right now?
We
What
talk,
are-
we
So-
we
so
we're
Miss
tackling
B,
each other's brain,
Miss
right?
B, my
So-
last question. You never manipulate anybody.
Let me just
Oh, you
finish.
Go ahead.
G.
Go ahead.
So G says something, you said something, and I'm trying to have a viewpoint like of what you think and what he think. And as the host, I'm asking you this question: what do you think about corporate America? Because G said there's good manipulation, which I agree, and I know
don't
you
agree there's
disagree.
good manipulation.
So
You don't
you
think
never
you
done
don't
it,
think
Miss
you've
B.
been manipulated by you were manipulated by your parents, even
don't
by the
think-
world, like to talking about like Santa Claus, like what's his name?
Christmas, whatever.
Christmas.
I don't know.
It's a manipulation game. They're manipulating us, thinking like, oh, it's God that's bringing
So
us,
you think
us
that's
gifts.
fine?
I don't think that's fine. But I don't think that's fine. But most people think it's fine. Most people say, yo, let kids be kids. I want to play with their with their imagination. But at the end of the day, you lying to them.
Let me make it easy for Miss B. Miss
So
B,
it is a
the
manipulation
fact-
trick.
No, Miss B, the fact that
Right.
it's not good.
So by him saying that there's good manipulation, so I'm trying to understand, and now I'm asking you this question because you don't agree either way. Don't you think corporate America, it's a whole manipulation game?
I don't know what corporate America's doing.
You don't work in corporate America?
No, I do not.
Well, you study psychology major, right?
I am a psychology major.
As a psychologist-
my undergrad was.
As a
I
psychology,
did
you do
have-
know you play psychology game on people all the time just to get the answer that you want.
That's why some people.
So what is your question right now, Patrick?
No,
I'm confused.
my question is,
What are you
he
asking
said-
me? So
He said there's good manipulation,
And
and,
there's
you
bad.
said
There's
there's
no
no
such
such
thing.
thing.
And
And
that's-
I'm trying to
like-
understand your logic by asking you question.
I'm just saying, if you take somebody's choice away because you decided that your choice is better, so you're not gonna give them the option to do something else, then it's wrong. And that's all I'm saying.
Then life is wrong. Then, all right, P, get to the comments.
Nobody said life was fair.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like nothing is fair. So what are you arguing, Miss B? That's my thing. You trying to tell me you never manipulated? You never.
I'm not the one arguing. You're the one who keep going
the
back.
fact that
I made my
Miss B, Miss B,
statement.
the fact that you said it's not good, so you never done it. Answer me.
No, I
You
don't.
never done it.
No, I
Alright,
do
let's get
not
to the
manipulate
comment.
people
Please,
to
let's
do
get to it.
things
Okay,
that they don't want to do.
Okay,
Miss
Miss B.
B,
They don't want to do. I dropped it.
We're gonna go to the comments. It's okay.
Do you want to get it, Miss B? Please.
Let's see.
I wanna comment to that. She said I don't like when she says did we talk about that? She
What?
said I don't like when she says allows is beyond that.
Yeah, we already spoke about that.
Did we? Let me say something about that. So when I say allow, so of course it's beyond that. So but that's why God gave you a mind. So it's up to you to take your responsibility to not allow certain things to happens to you. It could happen once because we're all human, we make mistakes. But the second time, the third time, that's on you. You allow it to happen, that's on you. Simple as that.
Okay. Go ahead, Miss B.
Let's see here. Rizzy agreeing. I think we said that. Now, I have a degree in psychology, and I studied narcissist behavior for 5 years because I wanted to help people with that character trait. So that's why I wanted you guys to understand going, okay, first you understand what it is. Okay, so what is their behaviors? Because the behavior is the problem, because the behavior, their action is directly impacting you mentally or physically. I haven't heard that narcissist word used a lot until now. Michelle Armas. Okay, P, it was not as noticed as it used to be in 1994. I have to agree with P. Michelle says that. Razy said, ask P if it's not narcissist, what would you call it?
Razy. We only describe the word of narcissist, what it means. It's someone that's into himself. It's only his view, and that's it. His way or the highway. But a lot of time, the person can just be, a high opinionated person, and people want to call the person a narcissist. And I think that's wrong, because everybody is entitled to have their views. I don't have to agree in a whole with everybody, like in a society way of doing things. I don't have to. Everybody don't have to. Just because I would say value, right? I have certain value for myself. I have certain standard, certain way for myself. Does not mean I'm a narcissist. So a lot of people use that to call you a narcissist because you don't share the same view as them, or you not.
Do you make them feel that their view is unimportant? Because
no, I don't think you should.
That's why it gets.
I don't think. But what the reason why we were talking about is because some people, you don't have to make their view feel like ass. It's just because you are a high opinionated person, and they're like, okay, you're a narcissist.
Then not only that,
and I think that's wrong. Just because you can bottle my view does not mean I'm a narcissist. If you ain't got nothing to say, all right, bye. You ain't got nothing to say. You ain't got nothing to say, but I'm all ears. Like, if we can have a intellectual conversation like we're doing right now, we bottling each other's brain. That's it. We're talking.
So here's
and
what
you don't
I'm
have to
hearing.
agree with me. I don't have to agree with you, or we all can agree. That's life.
Here's what I'm hearing, though, because you guys keep going back and forth.
Right.
You guys keep going back about the people in your life on how they define it.
No, it's not people in my life. I'm saying
people
like
you see in social media,
Yeah.
or people that's around you, whatever it is, how they define it.
how they define what.
Whatever, narcissist or manipulation or unhealthy. Or
I don't
what
think
it
I
is.
have people
But
around
I
me
can't-
that does that. It's mostly like through my observation through social media and how other people talk.
wherever
And I'm
you're getting it
yeah.
from. But what we're saying is that someone being an actual narcissist is not just because that he thinks highly of himself.
well, that's what the definition is. It's part of it.
I'm just saying it's not just him believing that he's good or he's smart, whatever it is. It's not just him thinking highly of himself.
Mm-hmm.
What he does with that, his behavior, how he make others around him feel, that's where it gets to the extreme.
It's someone that have
So it's
lack
the
of
next
empathy
step.
for others.
If
So-
you lack of empathy, then I
Yeah.
don't care about what you have to say.
Yeah,
Only
so that
what I
means-
have to say matters. I don't care what you feel. I don't care how you feel.
make no sense.
So if I'm around you, you don't care how I feel, what I feel. You don't care what I have to say. It's only your way in every way. Then that when it become a little bit, I can't be around you.
yeah, that's a narcissist trick.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what unhealthy is.
Right.
So if you're like that and I'm constantly around that thing, I have to leave. Gotta bounce.
Obviously, I agree with you.
So, yeah, someone think highly of himself.
For
Yeah.
15 years. For 15
Wait, you
years?
said someone who think highly. I think everybody should think highly of
15 years?
themselves.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you think highly of yourself, like, I'm your wife or I'm your partner, then, you're my husband. It should be okay because you
People
want
call
them
it
to
toxic,
think
though.
highly
But people
of
call
them.
it toxic. You know what I'm saying?
But it gets toxic. People don't just make you feel like they don't just call you toxic because you make them feel nice inside.
So the fact that
Understand that.
somebody
They
just called
don't
me
just-
toxic, by the way.
The
logic. Somebody just did it in the comments. So
So your logic, so not you being toxic, your logic or the way you see it or the way you projecting that
that got
opinion,
to do-
whatever it, I forgot what you said that made it seem static.
Make no sense. I can't say whatever. That doesn't mean my logic. Maybe you don't see
No,
it like
there
that.
are things that people can say, like, you know, that's like, wow, like, you know, that is a narcissistic, like, or a toxic way of
Toxic
looking
behavior.
at it, like,
I
you know,
got you.
not behavior, it's just like a toxic way of looking at it, of doing it, if it's like an actual action. But like, you know, and if it's someone that you love, there's no way you would do it in such a negative way where that they receiving such a thing that they will just literally call you, like, you know, you're toxic or you're
Yeah.
a narcissist.
But
you know?
okay, hold on. Let
Because
me say something.
usually,
Hold on, Miss
we
B.
never
You've been talking for
interpreted
a while.
love
Let me say
as
something, Miss B.
bad.
Let me say something. You just said, okay, it's someone that you love. 15 years, narcissistic is like somebody always into themselves, right? If they love you, that's when they're not into themselves. Is that true?
No, what?
Okay, see, people only see themselves. Is that true? Narcissistic, that's what the definition says earlier with the way you describe it, right, P?
Yeah.
They only see themselves, right?
They see,
No, that's
if
not
they-
no, that's part of it. You know,
But they
into
only see
they
themselves.
think
But
highly
you
of
have like
themselves.
highly of themselves. So if they love you, right? They get to you after
They
15
should
years.
not be
You
feeling
trying
this
to
way.
exactly?
They
You
should
trying
not
to
be
tell?
acting
Not
that
only
way.
that, you trying to tell me that you gonna wait until 15 years or 10
15 years was your example.
a long time. But that's what the topic says. After a long time, should time dictate whether you should stay or leave? Is that what the topic says?
Should the number of years. So it
Exactly.
doesn't matter if
It
it's
could be
1
3
1
years.
year, 2 years, 3 years, 15
That's a
years, or
long time.
whatnot.
That's a
Guys.
long time.
Let's just finish with the comment. Go ahead, Balani.
Let's see.
I think
I scrolled up a little.
I think
too
there's a
bad.
better wording to speak to the partners. I think that's where you were at.
Let's see. Nah, I have a degree. I think that's where I said I have a degree in psychology. Yada 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 yada. Michelle Arma says, I haven't heard the narcissist word used a lot until now. LOL. Okay, so she agrees. She's been hearing it a lot. I honestly, I haven't heard it as much. It's still as uncommon to me. But then again, we all around different people. Okay, P, it was not as noticed as it used to be in 1994. Welcome to 2023. But I'm joking. I added that. I have to agree with P. That's Michelle Armas. Resi Romain said, ask P if not. Oh.
Yeah,
That's where we
that's
stopped.
where
it.
we
Wow.
stopped. Yeah.
Yeah, that is where we stopped. Okay, Michelle Armas says, damn, Miss B. Resi, I see what G trying to say.
Thank you, Razy. Razy always, I like that. I get, I think Alma connected that. She always see what I'm trying to say.
Hey. Michelle Armas says, I'll give you guys the meaning, LOL. A narcissist's personality qualities include thinking very highly of oneself, needing admiration, believing others are inferior, and lacking empathy for others. Everyone have their own way definition. I guess everyone perceive things differently, but definition is the definition. I think there is better wording to speak to the partners. There's always a better way. If you are speaking love, you speak love, especially to your partners. So there's always a better way to say what you need to say to your partner. Controlling is unhealthy.
Facts.
I love how P's staying quiet, LOL. I'm with B. That's just me. Good manipulation. How so? Emmanuel E. Jersey says, I agree with Ms. B. That's wrong. I don't think being highly opinionated is narcissism. Princess Love says, narcissism personality qualities include thinking very, I think just repeating. Well, actually, that's believing others. Yeah, I think that's the same one. Yep. This was a great topic, guys. See you guys next episode. Michelle said that. I've been around some very narcissist people. You might as well live with the devil. Honestly, though, you don't just wake up and say that this person's narcissist.
Some
Like,
people do
you
that.
literally feel like you don't just get that from love. You don't get like that feeling that makes you think that other person is a certain way. You don't get that by him giving you love or by her giving you love. You don't get that. So maybe it is something else. Maybe how they're interpreting it could be wrong, but whatever they're feeling is not love.
Yeah.
So there's that.
No, I can agree with that 100%. I think G was saying that too. So if you've been with someone like for so long and they're having those narcissistic traits, so you should know you shouldn't even gone that far.
Well,
But
here's the thing about that though. Sometimes you don't see, like, we change, we develop or whatnot, and sometimes it takes us this long to recognize it because we were in that bubble. Or sometimes it doesn't start showing, or maybe that's when we actually start accepting the truth and we stop making our own excuses.
Whose fault is that?
Say that again.
Whose fault is that?
That they take too long.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming anybody there, but what I'm saying is that even though if it takes them 15, 20 years to realize that, when they do see it, get out. If you see it today, you want to get out, get out. You want to see it a year later, you want to get out, get out. Unhealthy is unhealthy, no matter how many years it took you to realize it.
right.
Get out.
But I'm glad you said that because people turn people into toxic. So after 15 years, so you didn't take your part, you didn't do your part to take responsibility for yourself to say, hey, where I'm going is not good. So you wait on until 15 years after you got kids, a lot of investment. So this is when you're trying to call it quit. I don't think that's right.
What would you want them to do? Stay for another 15 years?
I'm not saying you should have realized that since day one.
Okay, they didn't
10,
though.
15
But
years.
what would you want them to do?
Now it's too late.
So you want them to stay?
I'm not saying like you should stay, as I said. So if
What do you want them to
it's
do?
getting touchy, physical abusive, you gotta leave no matter what. But if it's something light, so you don't have to leave. Talk to your partner. Maybe they can change. Maybe you allow them.
15
Yeah,
years
I
later,
mean-
That's
they
the
didn't
word that
change
they
it.
want me to use.
15
Yes,
years
you
later,
allow
they
that.
didn't
Dr.
change
G,
anything.
Dr. G, 15 years down, you don't have to wait for her or him to put hands on you to call it quit.
Nah, I'm saying
15
like,
years later,
No.
he hasn't changed
Look,
after
look,
all
look.
of that
So,
talking.
Look.
You want them to
let's-
stay some
let's
more?
get- let's
Most
to
of
a
the
last
time- let me
statement,
finish my
guys.
point. Let me
Go ahead.
finish my point.
Go
Most
ahead.
of the time, people push people to be toxic, narcissistic, whatever they want to call it, that words. So it's because you push them to be that way.
What?
And after you got kids, a lot of investment, and then this is when you're trying to call it.
I
quit.
don't think you should point fingers at the other party because
happens.
of who you become to
It
be.
happens because if you
I know it happens,
be-
but like you
be-
should be a
listen.
better person to not let
That's-
somebody behavior affecting how you act. You know what I'm saying? So it's best to walk away.
So why would you?
That's why you just walk away. Don't stretch that shit for 15 years,
How about kids?
10 years.
You know,
Like,
that's
bro,
the
if
thing.
it's toxic, it's toxic.
Dude,
Get
dude,
out.
dude. That's the thing. People don't not trying to be responsible for their actions. So after 15 years, right? You did everything. You were blind because you were in love. Now you got kids. You're gonna make them suffer.
You're gonna have to blame
actions.
if a person is like that, you're gonna have to blame yourself and seek for help. Seek for help.
That's what I'm saying. That's
That's
it.
Let's
Don't
close it
call
up,
it quit.
guys.
People want to quit. They say, "Oh, I want to quit. I want to call it quit." No, maybe it was your fault.
Yeah, Ms. B, what's your last statement?
My last statement. Causing me deliberate harm and placing obstacles on my path for your own temporary pleasure is not an expression of love. So, if you are in a relationship where your partner, could be man, could be a woman, is deliberately hurting you, and then they're giving you all sort of reason why, don't lie to yourself. Believe what you see and get out. Simple as that.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Ms. B. And I hope Ms. B brings some lights to you guys in a comment and you guys that are watching us. And to her way of understanding the topic. And Dr. G, what do you have for the people? Last statement.
My last statement is that guys, don't be a follower, be a leader. Right? Don't just follow words. Don't just follow the trend. Don't just follow some people just because you think they know better than you. God gave you a mind. I don't care how long people have been in school. Sometimes you're smarter than them. So use your brain. God give you a brain. Use it. Don't be a follower just because people say certain things not good. Because nowadays people call everything unhealthy. They don't want to listen to their partner, they call it toxic. They don't want to do certain things the partner tell them to do, they call it unhealthy. So don't listen to people. After a long time of investment, after especially if you got kids, don't make them suffer because of your lack of responsibilities. Take your responsibility. If you waited for 15 years, so that's your, in a sense, that's your fault. So talk to your partner. If you guys can change it, change it. If you guys cannot change it, do whatever you guys think that is okay for you guys. That's what I have to say.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. G. We love you as always, and I'm pretty sure you have some fans out there. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna agree with some stuff that you say, some stuff that you don't say apparently.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so to me, I agree with I strongly agree with Miss B principle of how she described her view, and I somehow agree with Dr. G as well. Not everything, but I agree with some of the stuff that he says. Personally, I would say, if you want an unhealthy relationship, and my first advice is to seek for help. If you with your partner cannot do it alone, seek for help. Not everybody can do it by themselves. Not everybody have the ability to understand the toxic traits and the unhealthy traits. Some people being unhealthy, that's what they love. Some relationship is just going to 10 years, toxic as hell, and that's what they love. Hey. They love the toxicity. So, but the number of years that you spend with your partner should not define whether if you guys should be separate or not. If it's not healthy for you mentally or physically, is to just pack your bag and go. But first, you can seek for help. But one thing that you said, if you do have kids, you can fight more to save that relationship. Okay, but if not, if it's unhealthy, it's unhealthy, man. Don't stretch it. God probably have another blessing waiting for you. Is because you're stretching it. That's why you can't even enjoy that blessing waiting for you. So that's all we got for you guys tonight. For those of you guys who's new watching us on YouTube, IG's been giving us a little bit issue and stuff like that. But moving forward, if we're gonna have to be here on YouTube with you guys, hopefully you guys gonna be there with us and we can have fun. We can agree to disagree. So thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll catch you to the next one. Have a good one.